with Escape to Gaming. Today I'm going to do another drive to a different mom and pop dimple store that's way across town, and actually another little town called Folsom, which is where the famous Folsom Prison is, where Johnny Cash did his concert and wrote some of his songs about that prison. So it's a nice little drive. It's a beautiful fall day. The trees are all starting to turn different colors, and it's very, very pretty out. I thought it would be a nice little drive, and a chance for me to talk. I wasn't even planning on doing a video this week. In fact, you'll notice I didn't do one the end of last week either. I had kind of the wind taken out of my sails with the news from Classic Game Room. That was the last video that I made. It was very, very distressing. The day after I made that video, I received an email from Mark, and it just confirmed what I had pretty much suspected, that he's very highly nervous, and it's just it's naturally, it's like a fear of the unknown. I mean, I feel bad for the guy. He's got to change everything that he had set up and put in place has now been uprooted and changed. The older you get, the harder it really is to make changes and to understand exactly what you need to do, to carry on. Some of us have an easy situation to where we don't have to worry about money as much than others. For myself, it's not really the case. I have to work. When I don't work, we don't have money. We can't make it solely on what my wife makes alone or on what I make. Now we need both of our incomes to make it. It never used to be that way. I used to be the main breadwinner before, but it's all changed. I mean, life has changed. The industry is changing all the time. You have to adapt or you're not going to last. So I always find ways to adapt and move on. I always have my art I can fall back on and all that. But getting back to Mark, this is just really an unfortunate situation. I feel so bad for him in Classic Game Room. I mean, it's going on. Some people get it, some don't. Some people, nothing's changed. Classic Game Room's going on as before, Dean. I don't see what the problem. Well, it is for a while. But my point on my last video was that it's not going to be done professionally for some time now. It's not going to be a professional thing, and he's going to have to consider doing something completely else. I don't know exactly what that's going to be yet. It really isn't any of my business. He hasn't told me what his plans are, but reading between the lines and reading his email, he's very very nervous, and he's under a tremendous amount of stress because of it. It's not a great time for him. So that kind of blew the wind out of my sails. And then everything that happened over in Paris and in several other places in the world almost at the same time, it's been very troubling. It's been kind of a dark hole for many of us. We've had a hard time wrestling with the world and its ever-changing policies, and right or wrong, I don't care, what the reasoning is behind any of it. I just don't like the situation that we're in. It's just, we're losing our personal freedom. We're encroaching on the personal freedom and on, I guess, the liberties of others as well in other countries. And it's a tough time to make it. And more than ever, it's nice to have loved ones that understand and friends that understand, and to have, even our hobbies that we can feel a sense of solace in, that we can, get lost in a game and escape the miseries of this horrendous planet that we live on. I mean, I'm a pretty positive, upbeat person. I try to focus only on the positive. I try not to get caught up in the drama and all of the negativity with as far as politics and religion and all that. I really don't care. I don't want to get involved in it. And that's why I did this show, was just to do something that was positive and give my positive spin on gaming and how much it means to me and how it does save me from a lot of the drudgery of just everyday life and worries and all that. So it's sad when you see your friends that are struggling, whether it's a YouTube channel or they don't have the money to buy as many games as they'd like to, which has certainly been the case for me. I mean, I've been buying a couple used games lately. I had a really good sale at my mom and pop store, like 3 games for $10. I went and I bought a bunch of games and some movies really cheap the other day. I got a killer deal. I'll show a picture of a few of the games that I bought. Some Need for Speed games and some original Xbox games and Xbox 360 games. I love to buy them for my collection. It's kind of neat that for a lot less than a new game, I can buy multiple games, and so it's fun to build a collection up, and right now is no exception. There's a nice new Corvette somebody just bought, still has his paper plates on it, I see. Beautiful day out today. God, I love these fall trees, and it's just a wonderful day to be out for a drive. I've been working all this week. It's been a very tough week. I had to work last weekend. My wife was gone last weekend, which is another reason why I was kind of down. I hate seeing her leave, but she wanted to go. Our granddaughter had a birthday, and my wife wanted to go down and visit her daughter and our grandbaby and family, and so she had a nice time, and I just kind of stayed in and watched movies. I haven't really gained too much this week. It's been a tough week. I've had some health issues, which I've mentioned in passing to a couple people on Facebook, but I've had severe problems with my health that has frankly been worse. I've got an increased problem as far as my blood pressure has been going up more and more all the time. I'm not happy about that. I'm trying to keep it, I'm taking medication for it. I'm trying to, not be stressed out so that things don't get to me to the same degree. But it's not easy. It's been tough. And on top of that, I've had some severe nervous system damage done to my nervous system and my ganglion nerves back in the late 80s. And I'm paying the price for it now. It's been ramped up the last couple months in particular. It's the worst it's been. I've actually had to double my hardcore pain pill prescription, which I hate to do. And I've been changing prescriptions because of side effects, and it hasn't been a great time. So I've had a really difficult time sitting at my PC for more than 30 minutes at a time. It's very painful. A lot of it stems from neck and back pain. I've got a problem with advanced trauma to my disc in my back and my neck, and problems with my spine, vertebrae. I was supposed to have an operation back in the late 80s. I didn't do it because of the high risk of the operation, and I'm kind of paying for it now, but I just didn't have confidence in going through with it. And they told me, they said, someday you're going to have a lot of pain in your extremities, and that's what I'm experiencing. I have severe leg pain. I mean severe, to where it feels like the worst muscle cramps. You can't even sit and play a game. It's just torture to sit on the couch or anything unless you're doped up on a bunch of hardcore meds. And I don't like being hooked on anything. I don't like having to take medication at all for my heart, for pain, for anything. So, and even the hardcore pain pills that I'm taking aren't even touching the new pain. They make it more comfortable for me to sit and watch television at night. I don't take them during the day. I just struggle throughout the day and do my job. I do a lot of physical work. I just finished an enormous project which gave me enough money to kind of bankroll for a few months, which is nice. Provided a nice little cushion, and I'm very happy to have that. But it's been very tough. So I wasn't even going to do this video this week. I have to at some point. I've been wanting to get back and make YouTube video and content. God, I love these trees, just beautiful colors. But it's just, it hasn't been great. I mean, it just hasn't, I haven't been feeling that good, and I haven't had anything great to say, but I had something that happened. I have a friend of mine, his name is Angel Sanchez. I'll have a link for his channel down below. He's got a fairly new YouTube channel. He loves gaming. He's from the Los Angeles area, like myself. And he's a really cool guy. He's been following me on Facebook and on YouTube and Twitter for a while. And, I even accepted his friend request on my PlayStation 4 thing. It's great. I enjoy communicating with him. he's been asking me if I've been anxious to play the Fallout 4. I said, yeah, of all the games that have come out, that's the only one that I'm really hyped for, that I'm anxious to play. And actually, I was concerned about any bugs or issues that the game might have because of what I went through with the Mad Max game. But I've had enough friends that have played it that have told me, Dean, it's not that bad. Yeah, it's got a few clipping issues and minor bugs and an occasional frame rate drops, but overall, we've had good luck with it. None of my friends have had crashes with the game, which is my main concern. So I was very anxious to get it and was planning on getting it maybe by my birthday at the end of the year. And a friend of mine asked me, he bought the game, but he had ordered the special Pip-Boy edition. I think it was like a collector's edition with that thing that goes on your wrist. It looks really cool. And you can put a smartphone deal in it. And he was ordering one of those but couldn't wait and bought the game. And he said, Dean, how would you like when my Pip-Boy comes, you can have my Fallout 4 game? I go, dude, that would be awesome. I mean, I got, I wasn't planning on getting it right now, but man, I really appreciate it. And not only that, but he surprised me and he sent me a very expensive and beautiful hardbound strategy book. So Angel, thank you so much. It's wonderful people like this on YouTube that make me realize why I enjoy making the content and communicating with my friends as much as I do. It means so much to me. I mean, when I opened that box up yesterday, I started tearing up, and I realized how special it is. And at first I felt like I really don't even know this guy. He's a great guy, but I can't take an expensive gift like this. But I've realized over the years I've helped not only Mark Bustler, Classic Game Room, with tons of donations, but I've helped other YouTubers as well with lots of games and and money and things like that. So I'm consoles and things like that I've given him over the years. So I don't want to deny him that special feeling of feeling good by giving a wonderful gift. So Angel, thanks so much for the gift. It means so much to me. I really appreciate it. My wife even appreciated it. She was going to get me the Fallout game, I think, for my birthday. And she's happy. She'll probably get me something else now, which is fine. I mean, but it really means a lot to me, and it just shows you how wonderful YouTube really is, how we can make great friendships through the social media. And it's the positive things like that that make YouTube in gaming so special to me. That really means everything to me. So Angel, thanks again so much. I'm going to enjoy the game. I already enjoyed the strategy guide. Last night I sat and was reading through it, and then this morning I got up. It's the first thing I looked at with my cup of coffee as I started going through the beginning of the strategy guide and trying to get acclimated with what I know will be a very immersive game. So thanks again, bud. I really appreciate it. Maybe I'll see you when I'm down there in LA. I got limited time, but I'm going to try to see if we can hook up and visit you down there, along with my friend Cameron from Industrial Gamer, who I'm going to be seeing. We have kind of an annual hookup that we do down there every year around the holidays. So but aside from that, I wanted to do kind of a video response to John Latimer of JL76 Gaming's channel. He did a nice little, kind of a short video, but he had some Fallout 4 gameplay, and he was doing talking about hype, and do we fall into hype? And I thought it was a really good it was a good question. I wanted to kind of step forward and do my own little VR on it, video response. I think that I think I used to really fall into the hype a couple years ago, in particular back in like 2012 and 13. It's like every new game that came out, I was just elated and excited for, because back then they were all offline experiences for the most part, and the games were relatively finished. Occasionally you'd have some small hiccups with them, but for the most part they worked. There wasn't a hell of a lot of DLC, and you could just enjoy the games. Now it seems like it's changing. They're front-loading the games with a lot of omissions, which later you pay for in the form of DLC, which people are realizing with the new Battlefront game right now, which to me is just unacceptable. I will not condone those kind of practices when you know that it's set up to just take endless amounts of money from you, and they give you like 30% of the game. You're not even getting a campaign. You're getting limited game modes compared to the wonderful Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2. So to answer the question, John, about, do you buy into the hype? I'd honestly have to say no, not anymore. I used to. I'm certainly was hyped for the Fallout 4, and I think that, when you take a game like Red Dead Redemption or GTA 5, something where people are waiting years, 5 years for a sequel or a next installment, I think it's easy to, it's pretty easy to, it's easy to buy the hype because everyone is waiting for the same thing. We all want the next, everyone wants the next Skyrim game or the next Fallout game. Now, I only played a few hours of Fallout 3, enough to where I got to the first town settlement and had some interactions with some of the NPCs there and loved the game. And then my nephew came over and saw it, and he was just enthralled with it. And I gave him the game and book, and I meant to go out immediately and get another one, but I never did. Until recently, about 6 months ago, I finally bought the Game of the Year edition, big thick strategy guide, and Fallout 3, the Game of the Year edition, and I'm anxious to get the Fallout New Vegas. I was hoping to play those before playing Fallout 4, but I've heard that you can play Fallout 4 on its own. So yes, I am hyped for a wonderful experience like that. If they came out with a sequel to Red Dead Redemption, you better believe I'd be hyped for that too. But I don't buy into the hype because it's the in thing. There's a difference with that, and some things, under the peer pressure or the social proof, as psychologists call it, of others, and when everyone likes one thing and you feel you have to like it too. I'm not that way at all. I kind of broke that pattern with Black Ops 2. The first Black Ops, man, I loved it. It was like the pinnacle of the of the Black Ops games, of all three of them for me personally, and it was one of the best Call of Duty experiences I've ever had. It went back to World War II. It showed fantastic, action in Vietnam, which, you really didn't see that often on the last gen. We had a bunch of Vietnam games on the PlayStation 2, Conflict Vietnam, and, you had the Shell Shock Nam 67 and stuff like that, which I loved. So I was enthralled with, really happy with Black Ops, and I played it twice and beat it on the hardened level, and I got a high achievement score. I loved that game. I never even touched the multiplayer other than just doing, split screen type stuff with my nephew on it. So when the Black Ops 2 came out, I really bought into all that hype. That was the last game that I allowed myself to get over hype. I think I went to the midnight release, got the big-ass strategy guide, was all excited. I loved that Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails is doing the music. I said, man, this is going to be the shit. I was so excited. And I was so let down with the strike missions and the heavy Terminator-style sci-fi theme and action of it. I just wasn't really into the whole sci-fi thing. It was very well produced. I may have to buy the game back. I gave it to my nephew. I couldn't even make it through the first strike mission. My friend goes, oh, you don't have to play the strike missions, but you won't get the best ending unless you do. And I go, well, then the hell with it. If I can't beat the strike missions comfortably, I want the good ending, So I got frustrated with it, and I said, fuck this, and pulled it out, and then called my nephew up, who wanted the game, and he didn't have the money for it at the time. So, dude, come over here and take it. You can have it. Oh, really, Uncle Dean? Thanks. He came over, took the game and the guide. He put it on the hardened level or the veteran level and beat it and loves it. He likes all of them. He likes pretty much all the Call of Duty games. But that game, I was really disappointed. And again, it's not that it's a bad game or the campaign is bad. I bought it just for the solo gameplay, but I bought into the hype. That was really the last game, I think, that kind of taught me to slow down with the hype. And and believe me, I love watching early trailers and previews and dev interviews on games. I like to see as much stuff beforehand to get a sneak peek at the game, to see, is it really a game that's worth the hype or not? Is it something that that I can see myself enjoying and playing, or is it just something that there's a cop? I gotta keep this camera down. They may think it's a cell phone. We have a law here in California where you can't talk on a cell phone, so they may think this is a cell phone. I don't want to get a $300 ticket for doing this, so I'm filming. I should get like a little camera set up for driving. It's just difficult because I have it, and if I can clip it onto my other door handle over there, But unfortunately, the sound isn't quite as good. It's too far away, so I have to hold it fairly close to my head because of the loudness of my exhaust on this truck. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. I'm so happy to be out of the house. I've just been home for a couple days now, and it just kind of closes in on you after a while. It's nice to get outside with get some fresh air. And but as far as the hype goes, it's something that it's something I'd like to buy into. Now, I didn't get the the Star Wars Battlefront game. Initially, I was very hyped for because I thought it was going to have a campaign. And I go, man, if it's even half as good as I think it's going to be, and you imagine with a campaign, and then my multiplayer friends, they'll have their multiplayer matches. I can go in and just do instant action offline, I was hoping. And it does have some offline modes, but it doesn't take you more than like an hour to get through to play them all, and then you're pretty much done with the game. I mean, I could see myself replaying them for several hours, but after probably 5 or 6 hours of doing just the solo offline stuff, you've pretty much wrung everything out of the game that you're going to get out of it, which is kind of disheartening. So I had to boycott it. I really didn't like EA's attitude about, no one plays a single-player campaign in a game like this. That's a bunch of bullshit. And because of that reason alone, on principle, I have to boycott the game. I'm never going to get it. It's a shame because the graphics do look fantastic, and I'm just going to have to hold out for down the road when I guess Visceral or someone might be making a single-player Star Wars game, and that's fantastic. That's great news, which I'm very excited about. We're not getting as many single-player type games as we used to, and maybe that's a good thing. I mean, I can only play 4 or 5 long games a year anyway, and then I do a lot of retro gaming on top of it. I still play Battlefront 1 and 2, even recently, and I've been anxious to get back and finish the last 40% of my wonderful Star Wars Jedi Outcast, which I was just absolutely enthralled with until Mad Max came and stole close to 200 hours. I'm almost 200 hours into Mad Max. I've got about 30% of the story left, and I feel guilty. I really feel like I should finish that game before delving into Fallout 4, but it's going to take me a while, and I don't want to wait indefinitely on Fallout 4. I'm dying to play it. It looks so good. I just saw the Lazy Game Reviewers review just came out this morning of Fallout 4, and I posted it on my Facebook and on Twitter. I think he did a wonderful job. It's the most enticing review yet. He still talks about some of the little buggy issues with the game and his likes and dislikes, but he had a very positive profile on the game that I really appreciated, and I could see through his eyes that I would like it. He's a huge Fallout fan like myself. I love the concept of it. In fact, I want to see if I can get, there's a Brotherhood of Steel for the original Xbox. It's kind of a strange, odd duck of a game, but I want to even get that if I can find it. So I'm going to go to this Folsom Dimple store and just look and see what they have. I haven't been there in this store, since I bought my third original Xbox console I bought there. That's the last time that I've actually been to the store. It's a beautiful drive down here. We're going to go across the American River pretty soon. I'll show some of the footage of some old bridges you could go across in Old Town Folsom. Beautiful, historic old mining town from the gold mining days of California early on, when California was first starting and becoming prosperous. So the Sacramento area is kind of steeped in history, and the Folsom area is a nice, kind of expensive, desirable area to live in if you can afford it. I can't personally. I wanted to buy a house here, but we get priced out of the market. The prices just went up way too fast and too high. But yeah, buying into the hype. So the Star Wars Battlefront is a good example. I mean, yeah, it'd be nice to buy into the hype, and believe me, I'm an enormous Star Wars fan. No one wanted that game more than me, so no one could naturally be more disappointed than myself when it didn't deliver, with a lazy excuse of not having a campaign. Now the Need for Speed game, which initially, when I first saw the trailers, I was blown away, and then I do the research, and it's an online-only experience. which is actually the reason why I'm on my way to this Folsom store, is to buy a copy of Need for Speed Carbon. They have a mint and complete copy of it there, cheap. So I'm driving across town. Probably cost me, 10 or 15 bucks in gas just to get there and back, but it's well worth it. They had a collector's edition at my local Roseville store, but they wanted 44 bucks for it, which I just thought was outrageous. So I'm going to go. I had played this on the PlayStation 3 at my brother-in-law's house, Need for Speed Carbon, and really liked it. So the new footage of it reminds me very much of Carbon, with a lot of the nighttime Fast and Furious kind of racing stuff and drifting, and the nighttime neon and the kind of hazy dark nighttime look, and the canyon racing and all that. It's the one Need for Speed game along with Undercover that I've never played, so I've been very anxious to get it. And I just got Need for Speed Undercover recently. But yeah, getting back to the hype and John's point, I honestly say I can't get into it as much as I used to. I'm cautiously optimistic now. I like the hype. I like seeing other people hyped and excited about new experiences, especially ones that I know that I can play offline and can enjoy. Here, I'll show you some of this beautiful drive here. We're about to go over the American River, which is just down there. You can't quite see it. This is a beautiful drive. You go across this really old bridge from the 20s, I think. It's an old hit, or 1917. There's that way. There's an old bridge this way, you can see. Beautiful, beautiful view. This is the old downtown Folsom area, which is quite scenic. Yeah, getting back to the hype, I mean, I would like to be hyped. I was hyped initially for the new Hitman game until I found out it's an episodic only digital download. Now the good news is they will have a permanent on disc offline version of the game, which will be available, which will be nice. If that does become available, then I'll certainly buy it. The same thing with as far as this new Tomb Raider game. I'm just not going to go out and buy an Xbox One just to play Tomb Raider when I know within a year it'll be out for the PlayStation 4. So I'll just wait for the PS4 version, and I'm very excited about that. I don't buy into the hype so much to the same degree to where I feel like I have to have it and be part of that, I have to have a day one crowd like I used to. That's not to say that I didn't enjoy, the original Tomb Raider a couple years ago, which I loved. It was one of my Game of the Year contenders, as well as a fantastic GTA 5. I love GTA 5, and GTA 5 deserved the hype. It lived up to the hype. The online didn't. I had some serious frame rate issues, which really ruined the immersion for me at times. But that was only maybe, 5% of the time. For the most part, the frame rate was fine. It would chug a little bit when there's a lot of action going on. A few times it took me out of the immersion, but for the most part, I didn't complain. I see the positives in games overall, and I'm just happy to have them at the end of the day. So I jumped on it when I got the new version for the PS4. I said, that's great. We're almost there now. Oh, there it is, a dimple building. God, I haven't been here in a while. The DMV is right next door. I haven't been here in some time. Hey, let me go park over here. So I think with hype, it's honestly, it's a question of if you buy into it all the way. I love the hype in the way of ads and trailers. I don't mind following mainstream IGN and GameStop and watching all their interviews and previews. I don't feel that, I'm not as spoiler conscious as some people. I don't mind seeing an occasional light spoiler. I certainly don't want to know the complete story, up front, but I don't mind seeing things that'll be, that you'll be playing in the game just to get excited. It gets you all worked up. I'd like to buy into the hype. I wish I could feel the hype that I used to feel, But now, I mean, virtually every game that comes out, I have to do an investigation on it, and forensic investigation to find out if it's something that will meet my criteria. Is it an offline game? Is it digital, download only? Is it going to be something that I can play down the road? Or is it online only? Is it a heavy DLC, front-loaded game? I mean, these are all issues that we all have to decide. It's tough when you see all your friends posting videos of Fallout 4. You feel like, part of you feels like you're getting left behind. Like, oh God, I need to go out and get this game. But because, like I said, I'm just going to be cautious from here on out. Just Cause 3 looks fantastic. It's even going to be coming out with a Prima strategy guide. I don't know why the hell I couldn't get one for Mad Max, which really needed one, but that's okay. And I'll probably get it, but I'm going to wait. After what I went through with Mad Max, I'm not chancing it. I'll wait a couple months and make sure it's a good offline experience, that it's playing smoothly, that it's not too buggy, and that there certainly isn't game-breaking bugs in it. So it probably won't take long, maybe a couple months, and after seeing lots of reviews of it and my friends playing it, and I'll find out from them firsthand, are you having good luck with it or not? So it's fun to enjoy the hype of others. I like to see other people having fun. Scott Bailey, the console snob, just posted a great short little video of him shooting a mini nuke at this big mutant monster and blowing it up. And it's shit like that makes gaming fun. James from Monkey Spaz on YouTube, he just posted a bunch of videos as well. It looks very fun, very enticing. That's the kind of hype that I can get behind. That's the kind of hype that I like. But is to see my friends having fun. Then I do feel like I'm kind of missing out, and I want to be part of the scene, but I just don't want to have to buy an Xbox One to be able to, to share the same experience, or I don't want to feel like I have to, play an online-only experience. I'd like to know that it meets my criteria, and then I can play it at my leisure, because quite often I just don't have the time. My time is precious. I'm afraid I'll start this Fallout 4 game and then not have the time to finish it, which makes me nervous. So anyway, I'm going to stop for a minute. I'm going to go into my store. They just opened a couple minutes ago, and see if they have my game, look for a few other games, and then I'll be right back out to finish my rant. So I'm back now. I found Need for Speed Carbon. I got a good copy for $20. It's all complete. And I've been looking for Jaeger. Now, I found Jaeger recently, but it was missing the owner's manual. So I bought another one that has the owner's manual for $5, which is a good deal. So now I'll take the other one back, get a few dollars for it or whatever, and I'll finally have Jaeger for my collection. So I'm real happy with that. And, plus I got those other games recently. So that pretty much rounds out most of my collecting for the moment. I can't go nuts and really get any more. They had a really good sale earlier in the week, so I couldn't resist. When I can get games, dirt cheap, it's always enticing. But yeah, getting back to my rant. So yeah, the hype thing, it's a shame, because I would like to be excited like I used to be for games, for new experiences. But I'm just very cautious now, and that's the way it's going to be from here on out. I'm just going to have to remain cautious and careful. And it's going to be tricky getting out of here. But it doesn't mean that I'm not excited. And to see my friends having fun with games. I'll be watching my friends just a lot more closely, because I know they're not going to bullshit me, and I'll get the straight lowdown on whether a game is good or buggy as hell, or whether it has game-breaking issues or what have you. So I've probably invested another 20-30 hours in Mad Max the last couple of weeks. I didn't play any of it this week. Like I said, I've just been in so much pain. It's been painful to even sit on the couch to watch a movie. So I've been starting Battlestar Galactica over. Just now started season 2 last night. I haven't watched that in years. It's kind of an interesting parallel with what's going on in the world today, and the story in Battlestar Galactica, which I forgot. So sometimes that's what I do, is I just watch, and I watch my YouTube app on my PS4 and watch my friends' videos, and I enjoy catching up on their YouTube videos and their game reviews and seeing them having fun with gaming. Even the multiplayer games, I like to watch my friends playing the new Black Ops 3 and enjoying the multiplayer and the zombies, and I can still appreciate many aspects of gaming even if I'm not into it per se myself. So hype is fairly relative. It's just it doesn't have the instant hype that I used to have. I mean, every single new thing that would come down before, a couple years ago in 2012 and 13, I immediately, I'm getting that. I pre-ordered everything in sight. God, I must have pre-ordered probably 7 or 8 games a year with no exaggeration or more, and didn't think twice about it. And I never understood why everyone would get upset about pre-ordering games. Now I can see why, because it just encourages them to not polish the games and finish them to the same degree that they should be finished. Here's a wonderful little downtown area of Folsom. A lot of older little, scenes made around. Lots of beautiful little scenes. It's built around the railroad and the American River here at the time. My wife and I will come down here and park, and we'll just go to all the little shops and antique shops and eateries. There's wonderful concerts. There's a great pizza place right here, and wonderful concerts that they have at some of these places at nighttime on the weekends. It's a gorgeous area. It's a hell of a lot cheaper than the Southern California, living in LA and Orange County. And it has a kind of a down-home feel. It's like going back in time, 20 years or so to a simpler time, which is frankly when I lived here back in the early 80s, 82 and 83. I had lived up in Sacramento and really enjoyed it. Bridge and the river. It's quite beautiful. Beautiful homes, high-end homes here that overlooking the river. And there's a couple nice restaurants. There's a really nice restaurant here that my wife and I like to go to. The Sudworks Brew House. Get an IPA beer. They have a wonderful deck overlooking the whole American River. And it's quite scenic and beautiful. So, let me know in the comments how you are with the hype. I know there's been a couple really good VRs I've seen recently on John's video that I really appreciated. So I've enjoyed seeing other people's VRs, and I felt that I should do one myself, because I do want to be hyped. I do want to feel excited when I see new concepts, which I know people are putting a lot of money and time and talent into. And I want to ride on the coattails of my friends' enthusiasm for new games and gaming experiences, but not at the expense of broken games, which are coming out far too frequently. Even Fallout 4, which I'm sure they'll have a patch coming soon, seems a little on the buggy side. I've seen some horrendous bugs, but and I don't have an issue like with the graphics. I've heard a lot of people complaining about the graphics of it and the NPCs and the character models and all that. I think personally it adds a sense of charm to the game, and I really don't have an issue with it. I think that's fine. That's fairly subjective. To me, it's, things that get broken. It's, if something is not working, a door doesn't open, or NPC gets in your way, or is up suddenly on a rooftop as opposed to standing in front of you, things like that. Can certainly break the immersion. If they're minor and don't happen too frequently, I can let it go. And especially if I know that Bethesda is going to be, patching it, ultimately fixing it in the long run, then I don't mind. And the rate that it'll take me to finish the game, they'll probably have a good patch coming soon. As I have waited a while before diving in. So, but yeah, in the comments, go ahead and let me know how you feel about the hype. Is it something that you could, give a crap about? I have some friends that, they just aren't into the whole new gaming thing and new gen gaming. And believe me, I understand exactly how you feel. And I could easily go that way, but I'm still like a little kid. I want to believe that tomorrow's another day, that just around the corner there's going to be some fantastic new experience that we've never seen before that's coming. For some of us, it'll be with the new VR that's coming. I'm very excited, and I will be getting a day one VR thing for the PlayStation 4. I don't care what it costs. I'm very excited, and I want to support a more immersive gaming, consoles, and as far as a virtual reality, all of that, I think is fantastic. I'd like to believe in that and be a believer in it and support it. I just have to know that it works at the end of the day. So this Jonathan Blow's The Witness. I saw another brand new video last night. It's taken the guy forever to finish the game, but that's okay. I'm patient. I can wait. I just want it to be a wonderful, immersive puzzle game that I can get lost on this island and figure everything out on my own. It's very exciting. So the exploration in this Fallout 4 game looks like it's right up my alley. It's a perfect premise. I love post-apocalyptic stories, movies, books, and especially video games. I'm shocked that I haven't even played the other Fallout games per se, and I'm always on the lookout for more of them. I will be getting the Fallout New Vegas as far as the Game of the Year edition when I can find one, when I come across it. And I'm going to be looking for one of those as well, because I like, and I'm sure after playing Fallout 4, I may even want to go back and play these other Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3, because I do love the whole concept of it. The production values with the graphics and the leveling up system and the perks and all that are delightful. Bethesda has done a great job with that. So a little polish looks like it could be used, but overall they look like they know how to make a really fun game, and I'm excited to indulge in it. So the hype thing is, for me, is kind of a yes and no deal. I'm just optimistically cautious and just want to make sure that our gaming experiences are solid and that we can bank on them and enjoy them, for years to come. That it's not just a flash in the pan thing, here today, gone tomorrow. So that's why I love collecting, because if I don't have a chance to get to the game now, like so many games that I have, I know that just knowing it's on the shelf is enough for me. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on it. I'm glad now that I took the time and did this little rant. I didn't want to not do another YouTube video a couple weeks in a row. I felt bad I missed out on last Friday, and I didn't want to leave people hanging. I've had a couple people have asked me on Facebook, Dean, you're going to do another Escape to Gaming? We haven't seen you, and I just haven't felt well. So keep me in your thoughts and prayers. It's a tough time right now. My whole career is up in the air right now. I don't know what I'm going to do. My wife is very concerned with how I'm going to be able to function with the increasing problems. She's taking me in tomorrow for more extensive MRIs on my back and neck, and a whole series of blood work that I have to do to try to get to the bottom. I have just incredible muscle pain and pain in my joints and bones from a couple really bad accidents in the 80s and 90s, and I'm certainly paying for it now. So I don't know what it's going to mean. I'm going to continue to game. I don't care how many pain pills or how I have to self-medicate to get through it. I'll get through it, but it certainly is going to affect my life in more ways than one, starting with my career. So I will be getting into my art soon, which I'm excited about. I'm doing research on new paintings. I've already got a couple Star Wars paintings already mapped out, and I'm planning on doing a Fury Road Mad Max painting, which I probably will be doing next, because that's the most exciting thing I can think of at the time. I'm just infatuated with this new Mad Max Fury Road. I just got it on Blu-ray and recently, and it's just such a fantastic film, and it's got me so inspired to get back into my art and create something along the same vein. So anyway, thanks guys for watching. Have a wonderful weekend and enjoy your games and life. Thanks for watching.